Picasso, she don't even know my government. Fresh out the kitchen, grab a oven, man. Way too way before all that sucker shit. I'm a boss, ain't no questions, I know what's up, she said. She know what it is. Hold me down through the troubled times and watch the shift. I be missing my future, I gotta get to it. Don't get this shit too confused, we really with the shits. Baby girl, just my muse, I ain't that interested. I stay down for the better, play cards right, get leverage. Ain't trip, my losses got better. Surround myself with go-getters, and bad bitches, no blessing. And a wide body can't catch it, like Shaq breaking out a bad boy, what the fuck you gonna do with me? Count blues like Nipsey, too versatile to get with me. No give me song, ain't tripping, I don't need no crowd, it's just in me. Pride County, shut up, side up, what's up, man, team far different. Shut top, tell pivot, you don't know the difference, yeah, man, I'm sliding, I'm giving, swinging through them lanes, I'm too focused on my mission. Get your hustle on, it's supply, but they missing. Top, tell pivot, you don't know the difference, yeah, man, I'm sliding, I'm giving, swinging through them lanes, I'm too focused on my mission. Get your hustle on, it's supply, but they missing.
What am I writing up here? I don't know what to write. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome, appreciate you. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Top Tier by my guy Casso. That's the homie. That's also an excellent artist. You feel me? My guy's opening for Currency tomorrow. That's very amazing. I'm very proud of him. That's incredibly dope. I'm very excited. And you know, I don't know what to write. It's been a minute. I'm not gonna lie. I know this show had an intro. I just realized I don't really remember it, and I was just working on it. I was getting there. You feel me? Like I was getting there. It took a few episodes for an intro to come in. We workshopped it a few times. I now realize I do not remember it. You know, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Don't Watch This. I'd like to thank you for your rebellious ways. I know at some point I said something like that. You know, because you watched it even though I asked you not to. Yeah, anyway, bombing the intro. Don't have a word for the board. That usually never happens, but I'm sure that we will take it and we will turn it into something. And so that's kind of just what this is about, honestly. Like so I got back. Like I said, I haven't done Don't Watch This in forever, so I'm glad to be back. I was gonna write Welcome Back, but I feel like, you know, that doesn't hit the same. That doesn't do as much. Like I needed to make sense. Like it's just gonna say Welcome Back next to me the whole time. That's not gonna like tie in and be. You know, I feel like I've done pretty well with the things that have been on the board. Like, I'm proud of those. And so I was really putting, you know, a lot of thought into it while the song was playing. And, yeah, I couldn't make up my mind. I couldn't make a decision. Yeah, I've been gone for so long. You know, I was in New York, and I came back. Then I was in Egypt. And so, you know, I got back. And, you know, it's funny. I was like, I have so many different places to start, even in this one, that I'm not even sure where to go with it. And I feel like that makes for bad content, but it's also like exactly what I want the show to be, and it's why it's titled Don't Watch This. So I mean, like, if you're here, thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and let's go on this journey and see where it ends up. See where this takes us. You know what? That's what I'm gonna write on the board. that could be written a lot better. I apologize, but see where it takes you. Like at the end of the day, like you can make a decision. So there were a lot of reasons I almost didn't do a show, or a lot of reasons I would have kept not doing one. I talked myself into when I got back from New York the first time. Okay, like I've been gone for a long time. I haven't done it in so long, and I just thought about how I hadn't done it in so long, and I was kind of dreading the fact. And it's weird. It sounds crazy. But I wrote about it in the 4 things that I wrote on my trip. Anybody who read any of that, thank you so much. That's like one of my favorite things in the world is when people like read my writing, because it's like, wow, like you cared to understand me and then took the time to. That's amazing. So thank you. I need to start making music because I know that most people don't really care to read, and like I can get the same thing off if I put the music out. So I had to put music out. But yeah, so I was worried about that. I was like, okay, like I haven't been doing, I wasn't doing it, and then, I was dreading the trip to Egypt in a way that, like, I felt like it was breaking things up, where, like, I got home, but, like, I didn't really have enough time to, like, take a gig or something, or, like, start setting things up because I was about to leave, and I was going to come back, and I was just I was, like, overthinking everything in the weirdest way in my situation. I was already, like, kind of, depressed in the time, and, just a lot. And so in those moments, I made a lot of, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm not doing this, and kind of beating myself up about what I'm not doing. And so, I haven't done the show in forever, as I keep saying, and that was all I was saying. So today it was just a matter of, or last night actually, it was a matter of just do the show. Like, do the show, do the things you want to do. A lot of times I wonder, like, where should I start? What should I do? Like, what should I try? And it's just like, okay, like, I got on Twitch today. That was fun. I played 2K. I wanted to start my next My League for a while. Like, it was good to start that up and do that. People watched for a very long time, period, but, like, just came in there and, like, they were happy that I was streaming again. Like, it was a good feeling. It was a good time. The people were happy to see me doing it again. That's love. And so, that's a great feeling. And it feels like, okay, I'm doing this. There's something that I'm doing. There's a reason I'm doing it. And, I wanted to do Don't Watch This. Like, I want to keep honing on my writing and things like that. Just making content, putting it out there. And, like, it's like if you're going to do something, do it, And so rather than talking about how I didn't do it or harping on how I didn't do it, and things like that, and not doing the show. Even today, I was going to do it at 10:45. Something came up, and it was like, okay, well, now it's kind of late. It's not the time I said I would, and I could have just not done it. Like, I didn't really have. Clearly, I didn't have anything to write on the board the first time. I didn't remember the intro. Like, I wasn't ready. I wasn't really. I don't know. There's a bunch of reasons I could have not done it, but if I chose any of those, it wouldn't have gotten done. And now, been another day didn't get done, and, like, we're further away from when I did it. And now because I didn't, like, it was a month ago when I got back, or 3 weeks ago, whatever, and I got back and didn't do it. And so, had I just done it that time, there would have been, like, 3 more weeks of content. I would have been on the ball when I got back. It would have been like, okay, like, I'm back in my routine, I'm back in my rhythm. And so you don't allow yourself to establish a rhythm if you're only focused on, like, the shots that you're missing. You feel me? Like, you just got to put it up, see where it takes you. Like, see where it takes you, see what happens. Go with it, and I feel like that happened. That goes into a lot of the. So all right, I took some notes. I was like, yeah, man, like, what are you gonna talk about today? I didn't write them on the board. I realized that I normally write what the topics are. Didn't do that. Irresponsible. But the opening topic is recap Egypt trip / writing experience, which I've already kind of started. But that was incredible, bro. The Egypt trip was just an incredible time, an incredible moment. It felt very, like, divine, honestly. Like, it felt like it was supposed to happen in that time. Just where I've been at in my head, how I've been feeling, operating, whatever it may be. It just was really ideal. Like, that was such an experience. It's such a blessing, honestly. Shout out to my parents, of course. Shout out to God. Shout out to my brother. But it was just really dope to be there and to be there with them. And, we take, like, I don't know, it was just, like, it was Egypt. It was Egypt. It's no small thing. And so being at those places, like, being at the pyramids is funny because I read The Alchemist. People recommended that book to me for years, and it took me years to actually read it, even though I stole it out of somebody's dorm room and had it in my bag and didn't give it back. Like, I still ended up not reading it, and then it got lost in my bag, and I had to apologize. So, like, I always felt, and I stole it, like, they saw, like, it was a... like, hey, I'm going to take this. But, and so now I read it, like, a while ago, and it was really impactful for me. I felt like it was, like, the perfect time for me to read it. I felt like it was really great that people thought I should read it. I felt like I feel like it made me feel great that people read this book or thought of this book and thought of me and attached me to it in any way. And then like, just it made me think of things in a certain way. It seemed like it was happening at the perfect time. If you've ever read The Alchemist, it's incredible. If you haven't, then I feel like, you should. I feel like it's like a good thing for everybody, or, maybe not for everybody, but maybe just for people who, like, if you relate to anything that I'm saying today, you should read it. And I don't always say that about things. I'm not like Oprah's book club of the month type guy, but I just think it was a really good read. So I started reading it again just because I loved the way that it made me feel the first time and like the clarity I got from it the first time. And I was just like, yeah, this is a good time to start reading it again, and I'm going to be on a flight. It's going to be long, blah, blah, blah. So I just took The Alchemist and started reading it. And then I had forgotten, honestly, that the main character of the book, like the journey that he's on, it feels like it's like a dream. Like, and this is early, so I'm not ruining anything, but like, he feels like he's on it, like his dream is to get to the pyramids of Egypt to find his treasure. And so, I'm at the pyramids of Egypt, and I'm just like, wow, like, this is wild that I would even start reading it this time. This is something so impactful to me. I didn't think of the Egypt part. I didn't tie it in with my trip. And so then I tied it in with my trip, and it just felt even more of an experience. And, like, I was able to write. I love writing so much. And I think one thing that I kind of hate, or not kind of hate, but one thing that I kind of have gotten away from or get away from sometimes is, like, that was, like, the main thing that people knew me for. Like, that was, like, my thing. Like, I'm really into sports and podcasting and all that, and I love that, and I love the Knicks, and I love everything that's going on. But like the way that I'm like that guy now, I was like writing, and I feel like a lot of people now don't even know about like me as a writer. Almost like imagine it like whether you're here because you watch the Knicks content or here just because you know me. Like there's a Knicks jersey right next to my face, you know me, you feel me? Like so it's just like imagine if it was 5 years from now, people didn't. There were people who like knew me or like knew of me and like interacted with me and things like that, and like took interest in me, who didn't know I was a Knicks fan. Like that'd be crazy. Like who I am right now and how I come across right now. Like I feel like that was what I was as a writer like 5 years ago. Like in 2017, we went on a trip to like Italy and Greece, and it was like an amazing time. And I wrote about the experience, and I wrote it so like wonderfully and beautifully, honestly. And like, I loved it. I love going back to it sometimes, even. And I was kind of in a similar situation of like, experiencing this, but also like going through this and, trying to have this kind of outlook on what I'm going through and things like that. And so it was really great to me. And like, it was something that people like, a lot of people read it at that time. Like it was like a thing. Like I was writing so much that people knew me as the writer. So like they were looking for the writing, and, people don't know me as the writer now. And I feel like that's on me, and I have to write more. I have to be more, intentional in my writing. I have to share it more. I have to do more things with it. I just have to feel like a writer more. And a lot of times when I don't write, I I give my, even though I know better, like I know better because I have a line, and to get the line I just have to do the verse. I'm sorry, but I'm trying. I can't pick the line out of the verse and do this sentence as I speak to you and make it happen. It's not happening right now. So pay attention. You might start to get me. Then you'll understand I got the cure for narcolepsy. Through these verses, God protects me. Play my part until he bench me. Spit my heart until it's empty. Chasing commas with a semi. My pen is acting up. If you want drama, then it's plenty. Catch a line and get an Emmy. Putting on a show, I give my heart away. I'm penny. Punny over an adjective. Verses be the maddest libs. Verses be the maddest libs. Throw a hook in the punchlines and make them grab their ribs. Bob and weave. Ain't nobody stopping me, and my only writer's block is me. I possess the lock and key. Roll the dice monopoly. Listen and you'll start to see. Only the beginning of the process of a prodigy. Because money talks, money talks, money talks, money talks, money talks, money talks. I love that song. But, yeah, I possess the lock. My only writer's block is me. You feel me? So I'm aware that my only writer's block is me. And still sometimes, like, I'll feel like I can't write. And so, just the realization that I can. There is no I can't. To be honest, like, I really don't feel like there's an I can't. And so just going over to Egypt in the first place was dope. Being able to write about my experience was dope. But then being there, like, that, if you saw, like, the pictures of the video or whatever, like, with the love that they were showing me and, they wanted to take pictures and, they were smiling. Like, bro, that was, like, that was happening. Like, that was really happening. And it was, like, wild. It was happening at the pyramids the first day. It happened, we were in a museum. And I was noticing it. But I was taking it as okay, like, they think I play ball or something, or, they think I'm, I'm tall, like, whatever, like, my hair, whatever it may be, but, like, it just became to a point where it's like, okay, like, this is more than that, like, this is, it can't just be that at this point. And then it was, they like tourists, but, like, I'm in a whole group of tourists, and, like, like, you know, it's just, it's more than that. It has to be. And like, you know, so then, you know, that day where the video was taken is because it kept happening. And I told my brother at a point, I was like, yo, like, at one of these points, you have to get it on video, bro, because no one's going to believe this. Like, I can't even explain this. And like, just that experience was incredible, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, it's cool that they want to take pictures and stuff, of course. Like, but it's not even like an ego thing, honestly. But it was like really dope that like kids were like beaming, bro, like faces lighting up because of me. And all I did was be there. And they didn't know me. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know what I did. At one point, they were walking behind me as we were going upstairs. They were also interested in taking all this stuff. And he was like, Senegal? And I was just like, okay, like he's asking me if I'm from Senegal. They didn't speak English. So I'm like, he's saying Senegal. He must be asking me if I'm from Senegal. I was like, I'm not. Maybe I look like a soccer player that he thinks is from Senegal or something. And so I was like, no, I'm from America. And he was like, oh, America. And I was like, yeah. And like, they were like, oh, wow. And, you know, they're talking to me still. And they're like, you know, I think they asked me if I played something. Like, I think they were asking if I played basketball. Either they asked me if I played basketball, or like they were like, you know, like that, or like either that, or I just felt like they felt like I played basketball, so I made it clear that I didn't. I was like, no, I don't play a sport or anything like that. But either way, I thought that would be the end of like the admiration. I thought it was done there, and like that was not. They just kept going, and then, you know, like an older dude was like, oh, are you Ramses? Like you he was like, you're Ramses, and I was like. And he kept calling me Ramses whenever we would walk past in the temple. And, you know, then I talked to a guy who, I found somebody that spoke English who was kind of with them. And he was like, I was like, yo, is there like a particular reason? Like, my mom and I both had to know at this point. Because it's like, yo, what is happening? And so I was like, is there a particular reason? He was like, no. He was like, they just like you. And I was, you know, that was incredible. That was an amazing feeling. But to be able to have that kind of impact where, you know, you see faces light up was incredible. And it made me feel like, you know, how do you not, it's like I'm at a point right now in my life where it's like, how could I not believe in myself? You know? And that's a really good place to be at, especially with like some of the situation that I've been enduring or whatever, or some of the moments some of the ways I've felt. You know, today I thank God, and it was just like I was really thankful because, you know, regardless of how difficult things may be, and I keep saying I'm blessed all the time. Like, I never waver or, like, falter, one, in my faith in God, but two, in my faith in myself. Like, I never, like, feel like I'm less than. And I think that's incredible. I think that's so valuable. And I'm so appreciative for it because I remember there was a time where, like, I would think less of myself for anything. And I would take any opportunity to, like, you know, put myself down and, you know, view myself differently and see myself in a different light and that not as bright or things like that. And, like, that doesn't happen at all anymore. And I feel like that's such a gift and such a blessing. And, you know, and then I have it confirmed also. And then, you know, when I say my prayers daily, and so, you know, I slipped up a little bit recently. I'm upset about that, at least on the app, you know. But when I say my prayers daily, like, I look at the things. So I'm looking at things I pray for, like, while I'm looking at what I just think for. And, like, I'm like, yo, like, the things that I pray for are, like, happening for real. Like, you know, like, I'm not all the way where, like, I want to be at in a certain way, and, like, certain, you know, things that I deal with are frustrating and things like that. But, like, the things that I pray for are really happening. And it's an amazing feeling. And just seeing the way that other, because even when I showed the pictures and I was like, I don't know why people are reacting like this. And people are like, yo, energy is infectious. Like, the aura is universal. Like, it's the energy. And I'm just like, yo, the fact that, like, you would say, because I was thinking it's got to be something. Like, you know, for me, myself personally, I was like, yo, it has to be something more. And so for you to feel like it's the energy, like, it just shows, like, what you think of me. And I think that's incredible. I think that's amazing. I appreciate that so much. Like, that means the world. So the fact that there's people who see me that way, and, you know, I don't know. It's a great feeling, man. So the Egypt trip overall, like, with the experience, plus being able to write, I wrote some, I mean, honestly, like, I feel like I was in a bag as a writer that I haven't been in a long time. And, like, it was great. My favorite part of it, honestly, was that, like, I would write them, and then I would go back and read them, like, to proofread them pretty much as I would put them out. And then, so what happens is I write, you know, the first one I put out had been sitting on my notepad for a little while. Some of the verses, I pieced it all together. I finished it as I was going. Like, it was, but, you know, I liked it. It was cool, but, like, it didn't all come out at once. So, like, even when I put it out, I was happy with it. I liked the picture that I used for it. I was really pleased with it. But, like, the second one that I wrote, the pyramid scheme, where it's just like, yo, I know that I started this verse, like, today as my day started. And I know that I wrote this verse like as my day went on, and I know how these things came together, and I just experienced what I wrote about, and I read about it. Like I proofread it and post it, and then after I post it and it's up, I read it like on the site, but I try to read it, like, and every once in a while I go back and do it again. Like I just try to experience it as a reader. Sometimes I do that with like my clips and videos. Like if there's a clip of me on the timeline or whatever, I'll go watch it as if I'm somebody who's clicking on it for the first time, trying to experience it. I call it being a weirdo, call it enjoying hearing myself talk, call it, you know, studying myself to be able to be better, however you want to see it. I like to do it. But yeah, like going back and reading as a reader, and it's just like, yo, like I got across exactly what I wanted to. Like I executed exactly what I set out to execute with capturing this, and I know that I did it like on the fly of what was happening and like in real time, and like I know that, one, because I experienced it, but also because I read it, and it flows that way, and it just felt really well executed, and that was really nice. Like that was so therapeutic for me, and I want to chase that feeling. Like I want to fall more into that, and so, you know, I'm gonna be more consistent about writing, about sharing my writing. You know, I'm gonna make TikToks with like content from the trip. I took a bunch of videos and like pictures and stuff, so I'm probably gonna have like TikToks going with visuals. Somebody teach me how to use TikTok for real. I'm gonna have like, you know, videos and pictures going and stuff like that, and I want to like put a voiceover of like the things that I wrote, and I want people to be able to hear the cadence and things like that. But just, you know, just to get it out, because like I'm proud of it. I'm really proud of it, and it felt good, and like, you know, make something of it. And so that's the plan, and I'm just gonna see where it takes me. And that's how the verses went. Like that's how the writing process went. It was just start it and see where it takes you. And so you've got to start it. You know, like I pray to God for abundance. Lately, my thoughts have been jumbling. One thing I learned about everything is started with something. I'm working on what's hard to do while hurdling my obstacles to huge strangers me. There's no determining what's possible. And so, you know, you got to start it. One thing I learned about everything is started with something. And so start it, see where it takes you. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and then the second topic is this is a I feel like this topic has to have a disclaimer. If there's anyone it says there's 5 viewers, which is super cool, but I can't see comments if there's anyone commenting. So I apologize if you're commenting. I didn't say anything. I would never do that. I just don't see any. But the second one, this is a very touchy topic title. Like the concept of this is a little touchy. And I realized that yesterday when I was writing it down. And so don't take it like personally. This is just like my approach to it. And so I don't want anybody to hear this and get upset or like feel, oh, there's 10 viewers in here? That's incredible. What is going on? Salute to y'all. It's like as soon as I said this is a touchy topic, the viewers doubled. That's so funny. But welcome. Where's the gameplay? Oh, I do a show on here also. I'm very sorry. I do a show. This is my show called Don't Watch This. This isn't me playing 2K. I'm probably going to come back on here and play 2K after this, though. It's 1 o'clock, so I might get like 1 or 2 games in. If anybody is wild enough to stay up and watch them, I'm with it. But that's hilarious. Where's the gameplay? But yeah, no. So this is a bit of a touchy topic, or touchy. It might sound weird. So the topic is called the decisions of depression. And so, you know, I remember early in the show, I had a segment or whatever, probably like episode 2 or 3 or 1, I don't know. But it was about happiness being a choice. And so, you know, and I was like, yo, you got to make the decisions to like do things that make you happy. Like you have to put yourself in those, you know, you have to put yourself in that position. Like you have to choose the things that bring you happiness and all those things. And so, Neil, what's going on, my boy? No, you're not too late, bro. You're not too late. But here we go. Let me start that one over then. I got you, Neil. My apologies, everybody else. Okay, so the second topic might be a little touchy in terms of how it's received. This is just me personally. I don't want anyone to feel like I'm like putting their way of processing things down. I'm just expressing and sharing the way that I process things to help myself. And, you know, hopefully it can help anyone else. And if it doesn't help you, then that's fine. I don't want to offend anybody by saying that there's that, because I named the topic the decisions of depression, because depression is a decision. sounds really, really harsh. And I don't even fully believe that. Like, depression isn't something you decide to be. You know, depression is not a decision. Like, you don't decide to be depressed. But there are decisions of depression. You feel me? Like, there are decisions that you make while depressed that lead you into further depression. There are decisions that you make that can accentuate a depression. There are, the same way that happiness is a choice isn't just about, oh, I'm going to choose to be happy. Like, you have to choose individually to do things that make you happy, and you have to choose to put yourself, to choose how you see things, choose how you, and so with depression, it's just like, there are decisions of depression to try to, like, either mitigate or get yourself out of it. And so, and I to be honest, I myself made a decision of depression. I'm going to read that part of the verse real quick. And so that's why, me personally, I say that, like, but I made sure I changed it to the decisions of depression, because I know that it's not really ultimately a decision, like, especially not for everybody. Andrew Tate would agree with your approach. That's crazy. I don't really like that. I was going to rewatch this anyways, you real Neil. I was tardy because of joining the clock. I was tardy, bro. The show's supposed to be at like 10:30, 10:45. Here I am at 1 o'clock. But, okay, so I'm on this Roman layover, about to start the day over. Happy birthday to J1, bro. We're getting way older. That's a timestamp. This life is the greatest story ever told. As we grow to be washed, I'm thankful for the friends that never fold. That's worth its weight in gold. Not everything can last, it's just the way it goes. Jotting down my live thoughts and trying to find the way it flows. One more flight, I find myself so excited to make it home. I dreaded this before we left, my situation's less than ideal. Fear this trip would accentuate the depression I feel. I'm 10 toes, I can't front, it's been a blessing to heal. In this moment, I'm declaring that depression has unhanded me. I'm blessed to have my sanity, I'm blessed to have my family, ability and freedom to express myself this candidly. God bless who's understanding me, a writer's main desire. I truly do believe there ain't a mind I can't inspire. And so right there, I said, in this moment, I'm declaring that depression hasn't handed me. Because even saying that, you know, I'm depressed or whatever, it's just, well, yeah, you are now, because you said you are. Like, for me personally, how I view it to myself, and it was just like, part of escaping that mindset was deciding that I did. And so, you know, there's still, my situation is no different than it was. I'm just viewing it differently, approaching it differently, attacking it differently, whatever it may be. And, you know, I feel a lot better. And part of that is, you know, taking these notes in the first place. That's what I wrote next to the decisions of depression, because I told you how I was taking a long time not to do a show. I feel like a lot of that was because of depression. And, you know, so yesterday when I had the thought, I made sure that I wrote down what I would want to do on the show. Like, I was like, I have this idea right now. It was late at night. I was like, I like this idea. I like the way that I feel. So I'm going to write this down. And I'm going to, you know, follow up with it, and I'm going to be able to do this. I wrote myself a blueprint of the show. So it says taking these notes in the first place, doing the show, and making content. Those are the decisions of depression that I made in this alone. Like, it was like, okay, I need to get back to doing the things that I love to do, to doing the things that I'm trying to pursue and push forward. Like, I'm not doing myself any favors by not doing them. You feel me? And so I feel like that can help me break through it. Writing, deciding to write. Like, I'm so glad I wrote on that. That made the experience amazing. Like, I'm so glad that I wrote. That brought me joy. It was therapeutic. And it's like, if something is therapeutic for me and I'm not doing it, like, if I'm not deciding to do it, then I'm kind of deciding not to, in a way. And so that can be true for a lot of different things, and those things add up. So I think that, you know, I always say isolate your problems. And so part of isolating your problems, rather than letting them stack up on you, is solving one at a time. And so, you know, I solved taking the notes. I solved doing the show, and I can make some content out of that. That's a solved problem. Like, you solve little problems at once. Now that's 3 less things I'm beating myself up about, you know, and that's a beautiful thing. And so the next topic, I'll have better segues on the next show, I promise. But the next topic really is mirror conversation / epiphany. And the note next to it, like after I wrote the title, whatever, is talking to myself sometimes turns out brilliant. And it really does, you know, like, I really be, you know, especially when I take a shower or whatever, and I'm coming out the shower, it was just really dope. Like, I came home, this was my first shower in over a week. You know, I got to lay in my bed afterwards for the first time in a week. But I was just telling myself all these things, like, okay, I was so happy about, like, the writing. I was, like, on a high from writing, the trip, how thankful I was, all of that stuff. Like, I was thanking God for, like, the situation and the blessing, the way I felt. And, you know, telling myself that now that I'm home, like, all right, boom, let's do it. Like, why not do the show? Like, do the show, write things, make content, like, do stuff, like, do the things that you want to do the things that make you happy, do the things that bring you joy, do the things that you want to build on. And so And I thought about one of the, and I also part I thought about it is this next topic, and it's a story that I'm gonna tell. And I was like thinking about the story, and I was like, oh, that would flow pretty well on here, blah 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 blah. And so, I came up with this. I was just talking to myself, and I was really hyping myself up, and it was like, bro, like and with everybody like coming back from Egypt, all the timing, like everything, it's been very serendipitous, and like the energy and love people have for me, and that people are showing me, it's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. The confidence I have in myself, and all of that kind of culminating at once. I was just like, listen, bro, like do what you got to do. Like at this point, put that content out. Like people see you, people are looking, people are happy for you, people are rooting for you. Like give them something, put it out. Like put it write more. Like show your skills, show different things, like get on Twitch, do the stuff. You got the ball right now. And that's what I said to myself. I was like you got the ball right now. Like you just got back from Egypt, bro. Like you had a great experience. You wrote about it, you captured it. You're like in a creative bag that you have envied yourself envy previous versions of yourself for. Like the way that I feel creatively and the way that I'm able to write, like I've sometimes envied different versions of myself from different periods of time in my life that was able to like capture things and like say what he wants to and convey it a certain way. And so to be in the position and to have the ability, it's like, bro, you got it. Like you got the ball right now, so make it happen. Like, and so that was what I was gonna write on the board, but I wanted to get to it. But yeah, man, like you sometimes you have the ball, and when you have the ball, like you have to, like you got the ball. So that goes to the alumni game story. That's the final topic. And that was weeks ago. That was before I left for Egypt. But shout out to the Coral Glazed Jaguars. You know the vibes. You feel me? C Squad forever. I'm really excited for their season. I'm sad I missed the first couple of games and missed the home opener. But I was, out of the country. There wasn't a lot I could do about that. But I look forward to being at games and holding it down. I'm excited to see what that team can do. I'm excited to see what Coach Stefan does. Like, it's going to be a good. I'm excited. Like, it was really cool. But they invited us back for an alumni game, and that was real cool. And like, it helps. Like, I feel more invested for real. Like, I already wanted them to succeed. I already wanted them to be good. But like I feel more invested and feel like a part of what's going on. And so it was a great experience. It was a great time. It was great to hoop with like some of my friends and being out there with J1 again, like on the court in Jags jerseys was super dope. And hooping with the homie Nick Chase, I don't get to hoop with. Like Anthony DeLeva was out there. Like it was so many of us, and it was really dope, and it was a good experience. My homie Matt, like it was. So I'm not even gonna go through names because it was great. It was a great time. Everything about it. Coach Nick came out, and so we were playing really well, right? We're hooping because I'm not about to lose to some kids, like we're making it happen. Not everybody's getting back on defense and things like that. The things that I hate about playing basketball, like when I play and people don't get back on defense, and it's like I know that it's just it's just an alumni game, but like there is no I don't care if it's a pickup game, bro. Like I want to win, like I want to play good basketball. So things like that. But we were just we were doing well, and then we had a second line that would come in and they would like lose the lead, and so we came back. We were up by 10. We came back. We were down. It's just like wow. So then in the fourth quarter, it's like tense or whatever. Like it's a real close game at this point, and so we stay in it, and basically it comes down to it's like 10 seconds on the clock or whatever. Like it's late in the game, and we're down by 1. Like they hit a shot to go ahead, and it's like, oh wow, like we can't lose to some kids, bro. Like we cannot lose this game. Like so we come down. Nick drives. He kicks it out. He kicks it to J1 in the corner. And like I step into it like on the left wing, and J1 kicks it to me. And when I catch the ball, there's like either 7 or 10 seconds on the clock, and J1 kicks it to me, and I'm like, yo, like I could pull this right now, and like game it. Like I could pull this, and it can be super cold, and super cold blooded, and it can be the dagger. Like, it can be the game winner. It can be a great shot. Like, I'm not saying the alumni game is the Final Four or anything, but just hitting a game winner in any game is cool. So it's just like, I'm about to step into this, and but it was like, at the same time, I don't have like the need to save the day, but it's like the way that this worked out with us. I think it started off with 22 seconds on the clock. We come down. By the time it gets to J1, it's like 7 seconds. By the time he swings it to me, there's like 7 seconds on the clock when I catch the ball. And so it's like, now that it's swinging around, I have a good look. I'm supposed to do something here. Like, it's not even me trying to take over and get it. Like, all right, so I catch it. I square up. I'm like, yeah. But I was like, if I knock it down, it's the game, but if I miss it, then I rose up and I lost the game. And so I'm thinking about that. And like it takes a lot. That the shot with RJ yesterday. If anyone's in here from the Knicks, bro, it takes a lot to even take certain shots, bro. I'm glad he even took that for real. Cause like I think I can hit it. I'm like, yo, I think I will hit this shot. But at the same time, the way the kid was closing out, because of how much room I had, I was like, I know that he's gonna close out hard, and I know I can step into it and then blow by him and get right to the rack, and that's gonna end the game, and that's going in. Like I'm not gonna miss that layup. And so he closes out. And these are quick split decisions that have to be made, right? So I catch the ball immediately. I'm attacking, and like I blow by him. I'm like, yeah, this is about to be it. This is about to be beautiful. And he pulls my whole arm, like pulls the nah, no way, not losing like that, whatever. Pulls my arm. The ball like goes off at his teammate or whatever, but like I don't get a foul call. It's just he just pulls my arm, the ball goes out of bounds, and it's like now it looks like I folded, like because I didn't get a foul call because it's like their coach reffing the game. So I'm like, oh no, like that's not good. But whatever, we can still get it back. But it's like, wow, like I was about to end it, and I got fouled. Now it doesn't even look like I got credit for the foul, whatever. And so we inbounded. We're under the basket. Now there's like 5 seconds left. 5, maybe even 3.2. Who knows? There's a little bit of time left. So we inbounded. I cut on the backside. I get it. I'm going up. I'm about to end the game. Like it's under the basket. I faked one way, got the other way. I'm at the rack, and once again, it's like a pickup game when you get to the basket and like you got game point, and they're gonna make sure no matter what they're like, yo, we will check this up again. But you are not about to make this layup. Like you're not about to get this last bucket. So the kid like grabs my arm, like I'm in the air, and he like cuts my elbow and throws it that way, and I lose the ball. And I think it gets deflected out of bounds again. Somehow it's still our ball, but like I don't get a foul call. So like now at this point, I'm not the only one that's upset about it. It's like, yo, come on, that was very clear. How did he not get the call? But now it's just okay. We're down by 3, so we call a timeout, and we draw up a play. Shout out to Coach Nick who drew up a play for us to like cross. But like at the Nick Chase, I don't know if y'all know Nick Chase. You probably seen Nick Chase on the internet. Shout out to my little homie Nick Chase. I'm so proud of him, bro. That's been my guy, and to see like how he's growing up and like how he has gotten this platform as a hooper. Like he's always been a hooper. He's always had confidence in himself, and to see him like growing with it and growing the platform and all of that and taking off, and people want to take pictures with him and know him, and he's has fans. It's incredible, and his content is extremely entertaining. Shout out to homie Nick Chase. I think it's in Chase3 on IG, and he's got a YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that as well. He is that's my guy. I love Nick so much. So I'm like, Nick is the superstar here. Like that's my guy. That's and this is him. Like he made a big shot earlier in the game too. Like he like stepped back, shot his one-legged 3-pointer to like get us back in it down the stretch on a big possession. And so I'm like, all right, like I had the first chance for the layup. I got fouled. I got the second chance. I got fouled again. Didn't get a call either time. But that's all it looks like now. History is like people don't care about all it looks like now is I had 2 chances to win the game and blew it. That's all that matters now. That's all. I'm like, just like, yo, like this is crazy. And so at this point, it's like I'm not gonna try to take another chance for myself. Like let's draw something up. We draw a play up. I'm supposed to. Jalen and I are supposed to screen for David. David comes around. He was gonna get the ball, hand it off to Nick, and it was gonna be on Nick, and Nick was gonna make it happen. And then the play starts. David comes around. He can't get the ball. Nick can't get it to him. So now I'm like, oh. So then I like fake cut to the basket on the backside. Nick passes it to me. I pump fake, got him in the air. Took a dribble, reversed it like this under the basket as time expired, and it won the game. And it was just like, wow. At a point, so the note I wrote for the alumni game story is, sometimes the ball just finds you. And clearly you're meant to score. So it's like, like you got the ball right now. Like whatever it is in your life, like you got to see it that way. Like you got the ball right now. So the same way I'm telling myself I got the ball right now and I got to make something happen and I got to do something, I got to make something shake, and I got to like, even at first, like your first opportunity might not go the way it's supposed to, and only you really understand why I did it. And you're only like your situation may look a certain way, but like it. But at the end of the day, it's still the end result. Second time happened again. I got fouled again, no call still, and it's like, but I just blown the game twice in my head, and I'm almost beating myself up for blowing the game twice, even though I know better. And so then I get the third opportunity that I wasn't even trying to get, and it found its way to me. And it's like it's almost like in 2K sometimes, like where it feels like, okay, no matter what happened, the computer was going to score on that play. Like, I got a steal, they got it back, I blocked the shot, they got the rebound, they made a pass that went right by me, like, even though I had a defender in the passing lane, and then they hit a three with a hand in the face. And it's like, okay, there was nothing I could have done there. Like, 2K was just going to make sure they scored there. Well, sometimes, like, you're just going to score. You know, sometimes the ball, like, the ball finds you and you're meant to score. And I feel like I'm meant to score. And so, you know, I feel like that was a really cool, that was what I was so excited about when I got you got the ball. And I was like, I have to do an episode of Don't Watch This, because all of that comes together. And, you know, it was just me thinking in the mirror. And that's what I said. Talking to myself in the mirror turns out brilliant, because it really all worked itself out. And God is an amazing writer, bro, for real. Boom, boom. Sean said, I F those high school kids, we getting our W. Now, that's a fact, bro. I wasn't about to lose to some high school kids. Are you serious? Are you serious? I have too much pride, bro. Like, when they hit that last shot, we was down 1, it was like, no way we can lose this game. I was like, no way, bro. It's like, you know that feeling when Grayson Allen hit the 3 last night, and it was just like, this game might be over. Like, it was like, oh, wait, hold on. We can lose this? I didn't think we could lose this. And then, like, they hit that shot, so it's like, all right, we got to make something shake. So, you know, getting those 3 chances, making that game winner felt so great, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I had a couple game winners in my time. I was pretty clutch, man. Like, it is what it is. Like, somebody got to take the big shot. You feel me? I've had a couple of those moments. It's been pretty cool. But, like, regardless of what the game is, you know, it's an alumni game. I'm not saying it was a Sports Center moment, but it just felt nice. It felt nice. That whole experience felt nice. That whole day felt nice. Like I said, I got to hoop with some of my friends that I haven't hooped in a long time. It was a good experience. It was a good time. And, like, you know, I made a game winner. Just like, oh, wow, cool. Like, that's a nice way for this to end. That's a good cap on this story. So, yeah, you never know. So, start something and see where it takes you. You got the ball. You know that you're meant for the ball, clearly. It found you. You feel me? You just have to feel like you have the ball. And if you don't have the ball, go get it. But, like, you know, sometimes the ball just finds you. One of those, pick one. I don't know. But whatever it may be, like, shoot your shot and see where it takes you, bro. See where it takes you. You never know. And I feel like I'm in a much better position and headspace than I was, and I'm in a much better position simply because of the headspace that I'm in. And, like, nothing about my details of my situation have changed, honestly. The daunting situation that I was dreading, that I was super depressed about leaving and coming back to, it's not any different. Everything is happening the same way. But, you know, my approach to it is just different. The way I'm looking at it is different, and I feel like I'm different. And, you know, and a big part of that is from the love from y'all. Like, for you to be in here right now at 1 a.m., regardless of who you are, whether you're commenting or not. Shout out to you, Neil, always. Shout out to B Millie. Shout out to A. Shout out to Jig. Anybody who's in here, you feel me? But, like, that love helps me. It takes me so far. Like, it's like, if I have to believe in myself, I believe in myself, sure. Like, you feel me? I'm very reassured in myself. I'm very reassured in myself, through God, but also, like, through my loved ones and through complete strangers, to be honest. And it's really amazing, man. Like, I don't know. Like, that energy really means a lot to me. That appreciation means a lot to me. That love means a lot to me. And, you know, I can never overstate that. I feel like it's understated every single time. And I just want to say thank you, truly. Like, because, yeah, it means a lot, for real. So, I think that's about it. I'll be freestyling to get out of here. It's been a little while. Oh, what's good, bro? Needed to hear this. Good looks. Thank you, for real. GOAT mindset. Wow, thank you guys. For real, appreciate it. And let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks indeed. You know the vibes. Man. We getting a dub Saturday. Not gonna lie. It wouldn't be the first time RJ outplayed Luka. It happened last year. I saw it. Nobody want to talk about it. RJ outplayed Luka last year. So if you do it again, I'm getting real annoying. But yeah, I freestyle out of here sometimes. It's been a little minute. I might be a little rusty. I don't know. But if anybody's got a word that I can go off of, let me know. I don't have a word for you to freestyle, so here is a Jermaine freestyle. I mean, there's never a bad time for a Jermaine freestyle. But okay. You don't have a word. Does anybody have a word? If anybody has a word, let me know.
Millions find a look.
No. But regardless where we at in the standings, it's everything Knicks always. You know the vibes. Everything Knicks salute. It's everything Knicks always, no matter what, man. For real, we 10 toes. We are 10 toes. But yeah, man. Love y'all. Can't stress that enough.
Yeah, rest assured, the best is here in the flesh, and that's for sure. The rest should wear my vest, I'm set for war, nigga, press record. I send niggas to address the Lord. Same flow to put your neck to sword, the same flow to just undress your whore. Take over, nigga, check the score. This is chess, better check your ball. Who gave the world more fire but got less reward? No stress.
I love J. Cole so much, man. Oh, man, what a superhero, bro. What a superhero. Have a good one, Neil. Have a good one, everybody. Love you guys, man. Thank you so much. I might get on 2K. I don't know. It's 1 o'clock. I'm glad I did this, needed this. You real, Neil. I can't stress that enough, bro. That's love, for real. But, yeah, man. Love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Have a great one.